So the trade wars are very much raging right now, and another one has come into place, this time between the US and the UK. The special relationship just got a little bit more difficult, as cars being imported into America will now face a significant tariff if they originate from the United Kingdom. Now, INEOS, the same INEOS that are owned by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who was of course involved in Manchester United Football Club, in Mercedes Formula One team, in the cycling team. They also make cars as well, if you weren't aware. They have basically resurrected the Land Rover Defender, their own INEOS version. And yeah, they're not too happy about this decision. I imagine they have quite a few customers over in the US, and obviously they do build cars, I believe, here in the UK, or at least in Europe anyway. But yeah, INEOS Automotive are not happy about this decision. So let's have a look at why exactly that is. Full article on themotoringchronicle.com. Following a lack of action from the EU, INEOS Automotive released a stinging statement criticising politicians, urging them to take action quickly. We are outraged that the tariff situation between the US has been neglected with the EU. President Trump has been very clear on his intention to implement tariffs in the auto industry. He has been asking for fairness and reciprocity, and yet the EU leaders have not yet come to the table to be able to negotiate a better solution. The US government has also made clear about the consequences of non-engagement. This should be a surprise to no one in the EU, and it could and should have been averted. Lynn Calder, who is the CEO of INEOS Automotive, commented the following: "This is what happens when politicians sit on their hands. As a growing EU-based automobile brand, we are vulnerable to tariffs, and we now need our politicians to support our business, our jobs, and our economies. We need urgent and direct political intervention on tariffs. We will give whatever support we can to our political leaders to keep the playing field even for small, competitive brands such as Grenadier." They're basically the Land Rover Defender people not being made by Land Rover anymore. It's a complicated situation, but I hope you understand that. But we must seek action from EU politicians. Only they are in a position to address the issue. Fortunately, we have been planning for tariffs, but there is only so much we can do to protect US customers from price rises. So I'm not sure what it is from the EU. I think off the top of my head, Grenadier, their plant is down in the south of France, in around Lyon, somewhere like that, Nice, something like that. So yeah, they're affected by this. I don't know what it is for the EU, but I know in the UK, President Trump has now put in place a 25% tariff. So say you want to import a car into the US. If it costs £10,000 to do so before, now it's going to cost you 12.5 grand. It's going to cost more, basically. So yeah, the amount of money that these cars are going to cost in theory are going to go up. I mean, Grenadier might sacrifice some of their profit margin to be able to keep the prices lower for US customers. But yeah, trade wars are not good. Trade wars are definitely not good in my opinion. I do get some of the thinking behind it, but I do also think personally it is a bit boneheaded, to be honest. In the politest possible terms, I could use a lot worse terms to describe it. From what I understand, this basically caused trade wars, and tariffs basically caused, or was one of the leading causes behind the Great Depression in the 1930s and 20s, which, as the name suggests, was not a good time for the world on the whole. And the automotive sector is not immune to it. I'm not going to comment too much on it because we could be talking about this for a very long time, but everything that I'm hearing from people who I know and I trust, the level-headed people, because there's a lot of people who aren't level-headed about stuff like this, trade wars don't benefit anyone. They don't benefit the consumer. They don't benefit the country as a whole because people are less willing to spend, because people, things are more expensive, and it's a snowball effect. If people don't have money in their pockets to spend, then the economy shrinks. If the economy shrinks, it's a depression. It's not a good thing. But that's just my opinion. I know this will definitely ruffle some feathers, particularly with some people over in the States when they view this on Motoring USA. But, we're here to bring you the news at the end of the day. This is not the Politics Chronicle. Nothing like that. So yeah, your thoughts in the comments below, guys. I'm sure you got plenty of them. I want to hear what you have to say about this. Are tariffs a good thing? Are they something that will help the US economy? Are they going to help the world economy? Should Europe, should the UK, should we respond to these? Because we've not done so far. I want to hear what you have to say in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And yeah, have a great weekend and try not to think about those tariffs.